It is not easy to speak on behalf of, not even on behalf of a small and close family as ours. For each of us grieves in her or his own way, and each of us has his or her own memories of Abba. My own memories have changed considerably during the passing year. At first, bad moments from his illness haunted me, while the pleasant memories of the warm, funny, knowing, loving man seemed to elude me. Only gradually, as the time passes, the earlier memories seem to be more abundant. The time when Abba came to my second grade class before Purim to talk about Megillat Esther, being our Persian specialist. He's showing me how to look at a sculpture in the museum and see the lifelike way in which its muscles were crafted. His enthusiasm in working the garden of the house he built for us. His self-irony in telling us adventures from his trips to the supermarket, and his deep involvement in relating academic encounters and insights. But with a growing number of happier memories, the sense of loss also grows. The emptiness is all the more felt. The remembered images rise, but when I try to look at them more carefully, they crumble and disappear. I grieve for what has been and is gone, but also for what has not happened and not been said, and shall now remain unsaid. Of the insights that Abba did share with us, I think the most relevant to the present occasion at the Academy is his profound belief in the importance of scientific research, particularly in the humanities. Since my memory, as I've said, is too weak to quote from it, I quote his words as they were published under the title משימותיהם של המחקרים ההיסטוריים והפילולוגיים in one of the Academy's bulletins, the איגרת. It may be said that the concept of scholarship in the sense of deep and detailed knowledge in whole areas of research is no longer defensible when mechanical tools may replace memory. However, humanistic scholarship has never been just a means for obtaining knowledge. It entails a way of life, of looking at the world, of bringing the past into the present and preserving it for the future. An example of this way of looking at the world, which for Abba was principally looking at language, as has been said several times during this day, and at the ways in which language creates reality, can be found in one of the incantation stories he often mentioned, that of Smamit. I found a version of it in an article he published in Kadmoniot in 2005. Smamit's children have been devoured by the evil spirit Sidrus. The good spirits who protect her chase him and threaten to kill him in the sea, but they spare him when he promises not to harm those who tell the story. Abba emphasizes, the story itself is about the limited leeway of demons to act, which forces them to obey whoever can tell the story, thereby reminding them of their limits and, in fact, determining these limits. Further on, Abba speaks more generally of magical formulae and the way in which they function in the world. The divorce, the get, given to the demons is an act of releasing the house from their presence, and they must submit to it. But since it purposely imitates the act of dismissing a wife from the house, it transforms the poetic metaphor into a concrete act, which is meant to achieve an aim in those worlds beyond our everyday perception. Now we can only find solace in the words that Abba has left behind, the things that he has left us to read and to contemplate, the things that lead us to remember him and miss him. These words, however, lead us not only into the past, but also into the future. His writing and research influence the scholarship of others, as we have just seen. Those who wish to follow him, as well as those who continue to argue with him and dispute his views. For scholarship is, of course, a discourse within the community of researchers. We wish to thank you all for attending this event and, of course, for putting it up, for organizing it. I meant to say a special thanks to Guy, who unfortunately was not feeling well, but he really, throughout the whole year, was in touch with me and putting the event up and sharing with me memories of his conversations with Shaul and calling my mother, Miriam, to see how she was. So a special thanks to him, but also to all the others, colleagues and friends who have supported us during the last few years, and of course to the Academy's representatives who put this event up. And we wish to thank all of the young people whom I don't know, but who continue this way of looking at the world and looking at language and the way it functions in the world that was so important to Abba and so valuable to him. So thank you very much, all of you.
Idit and all the members of the Shaked family, I'm sure you can feel how everyone in this room, and really everyone who knew your father, felt such tremendous respect and admiration and love for him, and how much we miss him, and will always miss him. Thank you, all of you who lectured and spoke today. Thank you to Sima, to Yaakov, for the technical help, and I wish all of us a good evening, and we'll send regards to Guy and wishes for his recovery. Laila Tov.